Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I have a book haul for you. I have a few books, but there is one that I'm really excited for that I decided I wanted to open up on camera, and that is this book. Now this book is the special edition of A Song of Wraith and Ruins that is from Fairy Loot. I have never ever gotten anything from Fairy Loot, and I sort of splurged on this and got it for myself for my birthday, and I thought, you know what, I'm opening this on camera. I ordered this back at the beginning of June and it's just gotten here. Oh my god, it's in a pouch. Oh my god. Look, it's the Fairy Loot pouch. I've never gotten anything from Fairy Loot and I always see like people with this pouch, and now I feel like I'm part of something. And it says happy reading on the back. Oh my goodness, the edges. Look at that. Oh my goodness, you are gorgeous. It has a nameplate with the author's signature on it. Oh wow. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my god. Okay, I love this. I can't wait to get to this. I swear this book's been everywhere because everyone's been using it as book club reads. This book sounds like everything I will love. We have a boy whose sister has gone missing, and in order to save him, he's been given the quest to go assassinate Princess. Then we also follow Princess and the conflict with the court and her kind of role, and I believe there's going to be like an enemy to lovers romance between the two. I've heard incredible things. So many friends who I have really similar reading taste to have read and adored this, so I can't wait to read this and just like rave about it to all of them. I reckon this could be a favorite YA fantasy of the year. Very excited. The next book I have read, and that is Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid. I read this back in August or July, I can't remember what month, but this book was so fun. This is an adult YA contemporary, and we follow this 25-year-old black girl who babysits for this white family, and things kind of get a little bit messy once she takes this child to the supermarket one night, and at the supermarket she is accused of stealing this white child, even though she tells them that she's babysitting the child. And this incident gets filmed, and this all ends up being about people who think they're woke, I guess you would say, and the messiness of it all. That's the only way I can really describe this. I also picked up The Miracles of Namiya General Store. I was originally going to read this for a Suka video that I've sort of scrapped now. I might do it in the future, but if I don't, I'll read this in the meantime. I still had every interest in reading this. This book just sounds so wholesome. It's also translated from Japanese. I'm trying to read more translated books. So this story follows 3 delinquents who are all holed up in this general store, and they end up coming across this letter, and I think they start writing back to this letter. It just sounds like this is going to be a really wholesome, meaningful story. Also a coming of age story about these 3 young delinquents. It's extremely popular in Japan. I've heard a couple people talk about it here and there on booktube and they've loved it, so I'm really excited to pick this up. Another translated book I picked up recently is A Hero Born. This is a Chinese epic high fantasy that is, again, very well beloved in China. There's multiple TV shows inspired by this series, and this is the first book. All I know is it's an epic fantasy, and I believe it's a revenge story of sorts. I am planning on reading this in October. So it says it's a family saga, kung fu epic that spans through centuries in China. Yeah, so it sounds like it's a revenge story after the main character's father's died. The synopsis is quite vague. I picked this book up and then I've just found out recently that not all the rest of the books in the series are translated, so I really hope that they all end up being translated because it's gonna be so sad if it's not, but I'm so excited. And this cover, quite nice to look at. I also picked up Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. I did also pick up book 3, Oathbringer, but that hasn't been shipped still, so I don't know when it will get here. But I love this edition. The art in the end pages is stunning. Look at that. This is the second book in the Stormlight Archive series, which is Brandon Sanderson's epic fantasy series. So amazing. I've talked quite a bit about this recently because I have read this and the first book, and I'm currently reading Oathbringer, book 3. I also picked up Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. I have heard nothing but incredible things by Katrina Leno. I know their latest book, Horrid, I think that's what it's called, has just come out recently, and everyone seems to be picking it up for Halloween. This book, I believe, is a contemporary story with fantastical elements in it. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this has a female-female romance in it, and I believe we're following a girl who's dealing with grief, and there's this bird and magic. It talks about generational magic, so magic that's passed down. Oh, okay, so everyone in their family has a magical ability, and there's two twins, but one of them doesn't have an ability and she's waiting for it. The twin that doesn't have a magical ability is growing concerned as their 18th birthday comes closer to date, because then her gift may never come. So it sounds like this twin that doesn't have magic will learn the truth about the magic and its many forms. So I don't know what that means, but I'm really intrigued. I just tried Incredible Things. This is a really short book. I think it's going to deal with grief. I've heard some people say that this is a book that makes them cry, that's quite sad. So I'm really intrigued by this, and I've heard incredible things about Katrina Leto's writing. I also picked up A Little Life. Now this book is everywhere. All I know about it is it follows a group of friends and tragedy, like their life. I believe one of them has quite a tragic childhood, or maybe more than one, and I believe tragedy follows them throughout their lives, and we deal with that. I just am so intrigued by this because everyone seems to cry. I don't think I've seen one person read this and say they haven't cried, and I just want to know what about this book hits everyone so hard in the feels. I think the writing is apparently really beautiful. I don't know why, but it kind of gives me Secret History vibes. I don't know why. I haven't even read it, so I will probably pick this one up before the end of the year. Another book I have already read, and that is Jade War by Fonda Lee. This is the second book in the Greenbone saga. The Greenbone saga follows this family of this gang family, I would say, and they have to keep their place and status amongst all the other gangs. At the top, it's about them having jade. Jade in this world kind of works as a magical device of sorts. They wear jade to give them extra strength and other sorts of abilities, and there is constant war and fight over jade between the other clans. It's a very political character, family orientated driven series, and I've really enjoyed it so far, and I really loved this second book. I also picked up The Namesake. I originally got this for Indian readathon, and unfortunately just did not have time during the readathon to read this book, but it is something I'm hoping to get to soon. I believe we follow a Indian family growing up in America, and I think it touches on what it's like to be Indian but also living away from your motherland, and how it is growing up in America and what's that like for them. It says in the back that the main character is interested in living a life removed from his parents. I think it's going to touch on him trying to be more American than Indian, and it seems like it's going to be a bit of a search for identity. I'm guessing it's going to incorporate American and Indian culture and what it's like to be stuck between the two. I really enjoy stories on culture, so I'm looking forward to this one. Another one I have read, Stormfront by Jim Butcher. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because if you followed me, you would know I hated this book, but this is the first book in the Dresden Files series, which I think at the moment is a 16 book long series. I'm not going to be reading any more of them, but this book follows Harry Dresden, who is a wizard detective, and it takes place in this Chicago, urban fantasy Chicago. Yeah. I also got The Rage of Dragons. This book, everyone seems to be talking about it. This again is another epic first book in a fantasy series, and it's a revenge story, and I believe there's a lot of like military warfare. I love military warfare, so I'm really hoping that I like this. There's been a war for 100,000 years. Their society has been built around war and only war. The lucky ones are born gifted. 1 in every 2,000 women has the power to call down dragons. There are dragons, there are women in power. Oh yeah, I forgot, this is set in a matriarchal society. 1 in every 100 men is able to magically transform himself into a bigger, stronger, faster killing machine. So I'm very, very interested. And the last book I want to share today is The Courage to Be Disliked. This is translated from Japanese. This is also a non-fiction book. So The Courage to Be Disliked demonstrates how to unlock the power within yourself to be the person you truly want to be. I think it's pretty obvious what this book is about from the title. It just talks about how important it is to be yourself and also not let the judgment and views of others control who you are. I was gonna read this for a vlog, which again, it's the same vlog I was going to read the first book I mentioned earlier, and I don't know if I'll do it or not, but I'll definitely still be reading this. I've been interested in this book for a while. I was someone who was such a pleaser when I was younger, and in some ways it's something I still struggle with particular types of people, and I think this will be very hopefully enlightening and eye-opening for me. So those are the books I've gotten recently. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you thought of them. I'd really like to hear that, and thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're enjoying whatever you're currently reading, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!